Our next speaker is LaChelle Adkins. She is the mother of 15, who juggles marriage, ministry, career, and family daily with a smile. It is not always easy, yet LaChelle attributes her success to clarity with her roles and goals. She's excited to share her tips on clarity in messaging to empower you to grow your business. So everyone, please help me welcome LaChelle Adkins.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction, Terry Lee. And I want to say hello to everybody. I'm going to be brief and right to the point. So clarity in messaging is so important. I want to thank Brett for his presentation because he did a good job of recognizing the personal development that we have to do to build ourselves up. Once we get to that point of building up ourselves, it's important to know which message that we're sharing with our audience. And that is a strategy. Okay, so I'm going to go over 5 key things that it comes to clarity in your messaging. The first thing is that you have to lose your ego. So he did a great job of building you up, knowing what kind of mindset you have. But when it comes to servicing your clients, networking events, it's all about the message. It's all about what is it that you do that is in it for the person that you're talking to. So it's not about you, it's not about your accolades, it's about how can you serve them. And so when you lose your ego, that helps you have clarity in how you're going to approach them. So briefly before we started this presentation, Chella was saying, hey, I don't like for people to sell me stuff. You say that it's a networking connection. Next thing you know, you're trying to pitch somebody. So when you're letting go of that ego, you're able to focus on what is good to tell this person. What things should I include in this introduction, in my description of what it is that I do? All the things are really related to the benefits that you provide for the audience that you're serving. The next thing is communication, and that communication involves listening. So even though we have a good pitch, we have it down to 1 minute or 30 seconds, whatever that case may be, it's important for us to listen to the right cues. So if you are trying to pitch somebody on drinking chocolate milk and they're lactose intolerant, you've just kind of lost your credibility and the ability to close this person because you're pitching them something that does not have value for them. And in some cases, it can be harmful. So listening is key. So one of the things you want to always keep with you is a notebook, a journal, something to kind of remind you that you should be in that mode of taking notes. When you're at an event, if you are able to turn your camera off, grab some paper, take notes, do things that are going to make that experience even richer after that connection, meeting, or whatever. Get into the mindset of thinking, how can I reproduce what it was that I've learned? How can I implement it? What are some things that I can do in order for me to improve my ability to listen? The next thing is knowing your audience. So this is key. When you're networking, it's not the time possibly to be pitching, right? If you are at an event, sharing some of your expertise, it's about providing value. It's still not about pitching. As you get more comfortable with knowing what it is that you do, what are your particular skills that you have a zone of genius in, you will attract people to you without having to go out, feel like you're competing with the next coach or business entrepreneur. You will be confident in the delivery of the messages that you do. And so it will attract people to you more so than you having to go out and seek them. And this is very key when it comes to creating a relationship with your client. You want them to feel like you are an answer to their prayer. So the more value that you provide, be it on a free event, a paid event, or a Facebook Live, a post that you're doing online, all these things matter, and they're opportunities for you to highlight what it is that you're an expert in. And so as you continue to provide value, you will be able to attract those people to you. The next thing is having a tagline. Okay, so um, Terry Lee introduced me as America's Supermom. That is a part of who I am. I've embraced the fact that I have 15 children. In addition to that, I'm a podcast host. I also am a life coach, right? So all these things kind of go underneath that tagline, because a lot of people associate any kind of super something with doing a bunch of things, or whatever, rabbit out of your hat type of mindset. So think about a tagline. If it's a hashtag, if it's something that really sums up your personality, what it is that you do, in a word that is memorable. One of the things that I usually conclude in our team meetings is, if I can do it with 15 kids, so can you. So thinking about things that you could highlight, so that when you go to a networking event, or if you're in a certain platform where you do have a moment to speak, what is it that's going to stand out? What are people going to remember you for? Even your message, is it memorable? Are they going to be able to repeat what you said? Is it so technical that they just feel like they can't repeat it? One of the things about being memorable and something that people can repeat is that makes it easy for them to refer you. It makes it easy for them to come to you and know exactly what it is that you do that can provide the services that they need. The last thing is that you want to be memorable. So maybe there is some particular color scheme that is unique to your business. I know with me, with America's Supermom, I have stars and stripes, red, white, and blue. There's a hat sometimes that I wear that is red, white, and blue. So thinking about subliminally some things that you can also add to your theme, your website, certain things that really make you stand out. One of the things that attracts people to others is the fact that they can remember them. What is it that they did? They can refer you, they can repeat some things you said if it's broken down in a manner that's so easy for them to understand, and they can reproduce, they can remember, and things like that. So you want to be sure that you're able to capitalize on these different things by, maybe it is a color scheme that you could put on a banner on a Zoom call. Maybe you have a tagline that you can put on your banner. And with Zoom being virtual, there's so many different backgrounds that you can add, that you can customize, right? You could put just something that's relatable to you. I know with Megan, she's somebody who is sponsoring this event, books in the background, anything about writing. So it's so important to have something to where it really continues to speak about who you are, what it is that you do, in a platform in a way that's easy for people to remember. So thinking about, again, your message as a strategy. It's about having a platform, knowing what it is that you do in your zone of genius, and sticking with that. Okay. So it's not always about being cookie cutter and doing what other people do. In addition to your messaging, you want to be authentic, you want to be relatable, personable to people. A lot of times when people go to networking events, or they are at professional settings, a lot of people are already stressed and have a lot of anxiety. So you want to be in a position to where you can help people to relax. This is something that's memorable, because as they go to these events, they're already trying to figure out, oh, I want to remember, who is this person? What was their name? And they're trying to gather business cards. And now that we're doing things virtually, so many people are uncomfortable with being on camera, right? They don't want their face to be shown. They're trying to hide the background, or, you know, um, take their camera off. So you want to be in a place to where you're approachable, you're authentic, and it makes it easy for people to receive what you're saying and for them to relax. You know, we're not going to be able to relax, we're not going to be able to remember things if we're in a place of stress and anxiety. And so we want to be able to make sure what is it that we can do with our message that can help people recognize that this is something that adds value. It's not anything that we should all be afraid of. It's something that we should be able to embrace so that we can continue to improve and be the best version of ourselves. So think about these things when you are preparing your message. It doesn't take a lot of time. You want to be succinct and you want to make sure that it is something that when you do your message, somebody else can repeat that message if they're trying to refer somebody to you, or they figure out exactly what it is that they would like to ask you and what they need to move further in their business. So that is all that I have for messaging.
Thank you, LaChelle. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And so, LaChelle, I realized I'm going to go back to Brett when we finish here. But LaChelle, did you have a call to action, a giveaway? How can our audience stay in touch with you? And then we'll look at questions and closing out our segment.
Absolutely. So I put my email in the chat, and I am open to, I have a fresh start strategy that I use in my own coaching. I've overcome depression, and so I help empower people get over their limiting beliefs and things that can kind of put you on that downward spiral. So there's 5 pillars, and so you are able to kind of look over that guide and see which of those pillars that you feel might be a hindrance for you with moving forward in your business. So those are the key things. Those areas are using fear as fuel, reframing your story, envisioning your success, creating a support system or tribe, and healing. You know, a lot of times when we overcome things, that healing process takes time. So, any of those areas, I'm open to doing a coaching session on any one of those topics for those that might be interested.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So some of my top takeaways, I don't know about the rest of you, was listening is key. And knowing your audience. I've invited you there in the chat. If you have, we have just a couple minutes here for questions. If you have a question for LaChelle, please private message it to me, and I can forward the questions to her in the time that we have available. And if we run out of time, we can certainly put hers in the Facebook group, just like Brett's. So we'll see if anyone has any questions. Can we put those 5 pillars in the chat?
Okay.
I'm sure we can. Other questions for LaChelle? Go ahead and message them to me so I can collect them. So the question I have for you is, so far in the presentations we've heard, have you been making a note of what might be your take action, get traction step for today? Has anything stuck out at you? Something that you know that you need to, that you do?
Is this for me?
This is for everyone. No, everyone. We
Oh,
all
okay.
have our homework. No, we all have our homework.
Okay. I was going to say,
So,
I'll say mine.
no, I'm sure. No, I'm sure. Yeah. So this is just for everyone. Just as we're transitioning speakers. Yes. So I'm not seeing questions.
Okay.
Well. Okay. No, this would be for you. Hold on. Okay. Can the tagline be a quote from Shakespeare? Though she be but little, she is fierce.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love that. Who was that?
Who was that? Ronnie, the personal trainer.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay. All right, everyone. So I have a quote to close out LaChelle's session. Thank you so much. And it is David Viscott. The purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to develop it. The meaning of life is to give it away. So for everyone right now, I think we need to pause. And Brett, are you there? Because I think we need to back up the train.
Mhm.
Are you there, Brett? Okay. I think Brett has a call to action for you too. And he got excited, and I didn't get to introduce him. I got excited, and I didn't think I asked him. So Brett, let's hear from you, because this is good stuff, man, right?
Mhm.
This is fantastic stuff. I love the camaraderie. I love everybody here that is just wanting to get better. And LaChelle, you were amazing. So thank you for all that you just said. So what I want to do is actually have two offers. So my first offer is my ebook, which is called Billion Dollar Team, and it's all about how to build your ultimate team. And so I'm going to drop a link inside of the chat, and you guys can all go download that book. It's about 17 pages. It's a very quick read, but if you're working with a team, if you're looking at creating a winning team, this is definitely the book for you. And the next thing for everybody here is I'm offering a free 30-minute coaching session. So if anybody wants to get on Zoom or the phone, whatever it is, just email me directly, and we will go from there, and I'll get everybody set up here that wants a 30-minute coaching session.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here's the good news, everybody. I think we have opportunity for another comfort break. So let's come back at the top of the hour, and we'll be ready to go.